Welcome. In this explainer, we're breaking down the latest survey on India's rural economy to give you the essential facts and figures you need for your exams.
Okay, so what's really going on? Let's dive into this by looking at what millions of households are actually experiencing. What they're spending and what they're expecting for the future.
We've broken this down into 6 key areas. We'll look at the current economic situation, what people are thinking about the future, then we'll touch on inflation, spending habits, and development. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways for your revision.
All right, first up, let's take a look backwards. What's been happening with household finances over the past year or so?
Well, the biggest story to come out of this survey is a pretty significant boost in rural spending. It's actually reached a new peak for the fiscal year.
And you can really see that here. Look at this chart. It shows a clear upward trend. The latest data from November 2025 shows this remarkable surge in households reporting they've increased their consumption.
And here's the number you want to remember for your notes, a massive 79.2%. That's the percentage of households that reported spending more, which signals some really strong demand.
So, you might be asking, what's behind this? Well, the survey points to 2 main drivers: recent changes to GST and, really importantly, softer inflation. That improves what economists call real purchasing power. Basically, your money goes further.
Now, you'll see this term net response pop up in reports like this. It's a really simple but powerful way to see the overall trend. You just take the positives, subtract the negatives, and you get a single number that tells you the story. It's a great concept to mention in your answers.
And this table just illustrates that positive momentum perfectly. Look at that huge jump in capital investment. Income is up, consumption is up, but notice that financial savings actually dipped. That's really interesting.
Okay, so that's the past. Let's look forward and see how this all feeds into what people expect for the future. And this is where the story gets a little more nuanced. We kind of see a split between the short-term and the long-term view.
This is a really key finding. Households are actually pretty cautious about the next 3 months. In fact, sentiment is at its lowest point in the survey's history for the short term. But, and this is a big but, they are remarkably optimistic about the year ahead.
Just look at this chart for the one-year outlook. A record 75.9% of households expect their income to improve. That shows some seriously strong underlying confidence about the long haul.
Now, let's talk about a topic that's always critical for the economy: inflation. It's really important to separate what people feel right now from what they expect to happen down the road. So the feeling on the ground is that inflation has cooled off quite a bit. A whopping 84.2% of households now feel that inflation is below 5%. That's huge.
And the crucial number here, the average perceived inflation, has actually dropped below 4% for the first time in this survey. It's hit 3.77%.
And this positive feeling seems to extend into the future too. People expect inflation to stay pretty low, which suggests they're feeling good about a stable price environment ahead.
Okay, so let's drill down a bit deeper into what's happening inside the household. With all this income, where is the money actually going, and how are people borrowing? All right, for your exam prep, here's a really useful mnemonic: CLSO. Think of it like this. First comes consumption, then loan repayment, then savings, and finally others. And right now, over 2/3 of income is going straight to consumption.
Now here's another critical trend: the shift towards formal credit. A record 58.3% of households are now relying only on formal sources, like banks. That's a really strong indicator of deepening financial inclusion.
So what about the bigger picture? Things like government services and infrastructure. Let's take a look at what people on the ground feel is performing well. And wow, rural roads overwhelmingly come out as the top-ranked area of development. We're talking nearly half of all households expressing satisfaction here. That's a pretty clear signal. And you guessed it, we've got another great mnemonic for you: red water. This will help you remember the top 3 development priorities as ranked by households: roads, education, and drinking water. Easy, right? Okay, let's pull it all together now with the key takeaways. This is definitely the side you want to screenshot for your final revision.
First up, remember the consumption and income boom, that huge surge in investment, and of course, that really crucial sentiment paradox, the short-term caution versus the long-term optimism.
Next, make sure you lock in the data on benign inflation.
that decisive shift to formal credit, and of course our two super helpful mnemonics, Redwater for development and CLSO for how income is being used.
So this data gives us a really powerful snapshot, but the crucial question it leaves us with is this. How will these clear trends happening at the grassroots level end up influencing national policy moving forward?